and you've been playing on and off since the release of Dota 2. And you said depends on how much you're playing, depends on your job. You're 32, but you'd say on average about 10 hours. Your goals for the session. You feel like your laning fundamentals are quite strong compared to raiding. I think my struggle is more in the mid game, where to play on the map, whether to show on waves, when to play with the team, when to focus on getting my timings. As a result, I feel like pretty much every game I have some number of unnecessary deaths, preventing me from truly snowballing and extending the game. Okay. Would you like to elaborate on any of that?
No, I think just my background. I used to be a Heroes of Newerth player for the longest time since that game released in 2009. And then I switched to Dota, I think it was like 2 years ago, something like that. So I have been playing Dota on and off, but all in all, I'm only at like 1.2k matches. I calibrated at Crusader 3, I think it was, and then I climbed up into Ancient 2, I think was my highest rating. Then I went on a lost streak, and I'm now back in Legend.
Why did your girlfriend get you this coaching session?
She's a gamer as I am, and coaching is something that I've considered in the past, but never sort of treated myself to. And she's getting into Dota because she knows that I love it. And I mentioned your name and how you do coaching, and she just scheduled it without me knowing about it.
Cool.
So I'm super excited.
Sounds like a keeper. When are you proposing? I'm kidding. But yeah, man, no. Sounds good, man. So, if you could describe what like success for this coaching session looks like to you, like how you feel or what you think coming out of the session, what would it be?
I think where I'm currently at, I feel like I'm almost unconsciously incompetent, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
Mm.
I don't really know what it is I'm doing wrong. I can obviously tell that, I should be looking at the minimap more. And sometimes I get this feeling like I see a wave and I want to clear it, I want to push it out, but I realize, this is risky. But I end up doing it anyway, and then I feed, and then I'm not really happy with myself.
Mm.
Because I think my main goal for the session is for you to help me identify why I end up feeding in the mid game, and like what actionable steps, if any, I could take
Sure.
to prevent that.
Cool, man. Okay. You got some replay IDs for me?
I do. I prepped two of them.
Very
Since
good.
it is Christmas time, one of them is before 7.4. So I prepped one
The
game
only
where I
rule
won.
of the replays is they have to be less than a week old.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I think they both are
Okay.
basically like give or take a few days.
If it's
Um,
8 days, I can't watch it. That's the problem. Like I'm not
oh,
trying. I'm not being
oh, like
stickler. I literally,
like you can't actually watch it.
yeah, like I literally can't download the replay.
All right, I got you. Let's
Yeah, I'm
start with
not
the
like
one
it's not
I
like a
played.
rule of mine. It's like I actually just can't.
All right, so one of the ones I've prepped is older than a week, but I'll find another one. Let's
Okay,
start with this one then that I played
sure.
yesterday. This game went quite well, I think. We won it. I was playing Necrophos.
One of my favorites.
But I love myself in Necro 3. I think the laning phase went well. I think the game overall went well. But seeing the stats, I'm still at 6 deaths in this game. So I do feel like this could have been a stomp, basically. So even though we did end up winning, my team were flaming me during some points of the game of like not playing with a team or whatever. I was trying to focus on more on my own timings and more on sort of making sure I was where I felt like I needed to be.
Gotcha. I'm just gonna fast forward through the laning stage generally. Yeah, I'm just getting an idea. It looks like you're a relatively aggressive player in general.
I would say so. I tried to. I think I used to be too passive in the past. So I've been looking for ways to sort of push my advantage when I have it a little bit. And it's been working out decently, although I'm still learning my limits in that regard. But I don't usually end up feeding in the lating stage too much.
Yeah, I mean, I generally trust people if they say their laning phase is better than their MMR and they know something else is the problem. Like, there's always something I probably could correct here, but I was just kind of getting a sense of how you play lanes more so than looking to correct you. Yeah, it's a nice pull. I like that you're doing that. Yeah, you're gonna have like a super early radiance here. Okay. Invading farm pretty well. I can understand what you were doing there. For me, it's just a really fine line between what area of the map do we control? So
Yeah.
for me,
I felt like I should probably be able to tell that he had vision there from Disruptor actually just being there in retrospect.
all I'm trying to say is that it seems like you are looking to push your limits. I think that's naturally going to give you MMR over time. For me, this is a limit pushing death. Like, you have two choices here. You finish these camps, and you can either look to kill these right when they spawn and farm backwards, or you can, like, try to go for the extra camp here. And it's a close call. Like, in this game, you're against Disruptor, and you're 300 gold off of Disruptor, a very strong catch hero, is why I mentioned Disruptor. You're 400 gold off of your big item. So perhaps this is fine if you just finished your evasion talisman. So it's like 8 minutes into the game, you're not sitting on an extra 3k gold. You know what I mean? But it's not okay now because you're effectively not using half of your net worth, and at this stage of the game, Disruptor will be 6 as opposed to when you finished your evasion talisman, he probably wasn't 6. So it's like, what I'm trying to say is that power spikes can also a lot fluctuate with how far we are into a big item. Because before we got the item, we're stronger than when we're about to complete the item because there's been like a X amount of time that's passed where we haven't gotten a new item. You know what I mean?
Makes
So,
sense. Yeah.
so I'm trying to draw attention to that where I don't want to overharp on this death, but I just making sure I understand. Is that approximately what you're thinking? Is like, I could stay here or I should go like for one more? Is that approximately what you're thinking, or what's going through your mind here? What about what I said was correct or different than what you say? What did you do?
I think in general your assessment is correct. I don't think I considered here going back to triangle and like going the more ultra defensive route, which in retrospect I can see why that would be a good idea given that I'm so close to my timing. I think I wanted to be close to the bot wave, and I think maybe that would be too risky to push out the bot wave that like as the tower is pushing it out, their tier 2 tower, to pick it back up. I think that was my thinking anyway, that it made more sense for me to grab this camp and maybe connect it to the one to the left as well, had I not seen Disruptor, and farm them both at the same time, and then gone back to the bot wave and push that in again.
Yeah. So it sounds like I was correct in the general assessment that you are calculating how far up on the map you think you should play. Like,
I try to. I think that's an issue of mine, actually. Like not making those calculations quite correctly all the time. I think I do tend to push up a little bit too far, and that could be an explanation of some of my unnecessary deaths that I do have.
1 second here. Okay. So I the first 15 minutes or so of a session for me is I'm always kind of like dialing in what I think I need to help you on. So sounds like you're calculating things. It sounds like you're pushing limits. These are all good things. These are all very good things. These are oftentimes things I have to teach people. So you're ahead of the ball game on that one. In the short term, it can hurt you. to do this, meaning like to push a limit can hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
And in the long term, it almost always pays off, right? Because you learn your limits better. So for now, it's not going to be the entire session, but I think a decent portion of the session is going to be talking about reasons why your limits would be less. So that you can draw attention to, okay, this is a specific moment where I should dial back my barometer of how far up I should go, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is I think you probably, it's a very limited sample size, but I'm assuming you have a pretty good gauge of how far up on the map you should be. Like it doesn't need a massive overhaul, okay? But it needs tweaking, and a small tweak I think over time can have massive implications. So and the tweak probably has to be backwards in terms of being less aggressive. So I just took note of being close to an item timing will naturally bump you back a camp or two. I'd like you to just think about it in terms of a camp or two back. Like a lot of times it's just like how far up in terms of camps can you farm. So something that will bump you back a camp or two is like being close to an item timing. Another one that's pretty obvious for most people is like general amount of heroes missing on the map. That one doesn't apply as much here, but it's just something else that immediately came to mind. So, go ahead.
I was just going to ask you, thinking about this particular situation in retrospect, what would you think about going down and to the right to the ancient camp down by the gate instead?
You have a ward here, so that would be pretty solid. You do have ward vision control here. I'm not sure how well Necro clears Ancients at this stage of the game with these items.
Not before Radiance, right?
Yeah, so I would lean towards... I would have probably waited here for these two camps to spawn, just given that. You could consider stacking the Ancients with the remainder of the minute. You could definitely consider that. You could walk down and stack these right now, and then maybe you could actually stack these and farm the small camp stack as well. You can stack both camps. That's actually what I would have done. Now that I think about it. So that's, yeah, you can't clear the Ancients, but since you're so close to Radiance, you can actually stack there. The ultra passive, but it's not even ultra passive. The most passive would be to just sit here for 20 seconds looking around the map. That would be is if you don't feel safe to go for this camp and these two camps are not there. Or you didn't have this ward. You know, like for some reason you don't feel safe to go for those camps. But you guys are like also owning in this game, so it kind of makes sense why you're pushing your limits. You know what I mean? Like it does make sense. So okay, so you end up dying there. You're gonna get your radiance off of these two camps. Perfect. You're gonna okay. Let's see what you do from here. So you're gonna go bots. Okay. Okay, very standard Necro stuff. Okay, so you're going to start up. I mean, generally speaking, I like how aggressive you are on the map. I can tell why you like Necro. You like to walk at places. You're going to TP to... Oh, you get canceled. Okay. Yeah, so you are like ultra aggressive with your farm.
You're talking about farming the two camps south of the midwave there?
Yeah, when I say ultra aggressive in terms of your farm, you have literally no survivability items. And I ask myself, how many camps are behind you on the map? That's how aggressive you're being. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how many camps are behind you? So for me, Boots of Travel Necro is I'm allowed to farm wherever I want and I can connect to fights. That's what this means for me. The item after Boots of Travel should be an item that keeps me alive so that I can do what you're doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
So you
So you would advocate for me after I get my bots play more safely until I get my survivability item?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Where on the map can I farm and still have impact is a question. So for bots, that amps that up a lot. That's why bots on Necro are good. Because otherwise you like have to be waddling around with your team. You're fucking slow as shit. Right? So it opens up the amount of space on the map that you can farm. You basically become like a shitty Nature's Prophet in regards to being global. And what makes Prophet OP is that he can be farming these like bullshit camps up here and still be useful in the game.
Yeah.
You know, that's the big difference between like a bots hero and nature and any other hero in the game, basically. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that you don't need to be taking these guys as camps to be playing your hero here. When we're being very specific on Necro here, but it's like if you have Radiance bots, you will get items so fucking fast. Like, you're just going to get them so fast. And the worst thing you can do is TP into lanes by yourself and die, or TP away from an area where your team could use your help. So make it so you don't show up to fights, or make it so that you feed while you're by yourself. So ideally, you're actually away from your team, not dying. But you walked away from your team, unless you just got kills. Like in the case where you just got kills and you're ready to TP top, that's like good with me. But, so it's like...
But other than that, I walk away from my team, so I have my TP to reconnect if there's a fight.
And play alone, but not getting caught until survivability item. So I'll ask you, what item allows you to walk around aggressively in this game?
I think in this game in particular, if my memory serves me right, I ended up going S and Y after Radiance, because I'm facing Axe and Earthshaker. So I thought that, you know, obviously they do have some degree of magic damage, a great degree of magic damage between Lina and Earthshaker. But I just considered the fact that I might get jumped either by Axe or by Earthshaker and not have time to react and press BKB. So I preferred S and Y for that reason in this game.
So when you buy luxury items, I consider stuff like items that are meant to keep you alive, but they don't keep you alive to everything. It's a problem. If the only way you die is Axe plus Earthshaker, SNY is fantastic. You will die 10 times over to a Disruptor. None of his spells care about that. So that can be nature of learning the hero matchups. But the only, like, so what you're basically learning is there's no item you can buy to get initiated onto. Because if you have SNY, you'll get called into Static Storm and die. If you have BKB, you could be bursted before reacting with it. So what we run into is that you have items that will make you much harder to gank, but you don't have items that allow you to walk around and willingly get initiated onto.
Wait, actually, I just remembered. I think my next game is Yule's. My next item is Yule's for Disruptor specifically, and then I think I go S and Y.
I'm 90% sure you can get glimpse through Yule's.
I didn't know that. I'm sure you can.
I mean, this is the stuff we check because I'm 95% sure, but
because they did change a lot about invulnerability, right? In 7.0.
I mean, he can't target you when you're in the Yules. You can shard dodge glimpse, but it's not reliable. Dude, why is it so fucking laggy? Oh my god. Sorry. Let's fix this. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. Can't dodge.
You're right.
You can't use dodge glimpse. Okay, I was just confirming. I'm like, I don't know, but you never fucking know anymore. They change interactions all the time. Okay. So what I'm trying to say about your item build here. Let me fast forward to where we were. 16x should get us there pretty quick. You are currently in... this is the question I've been asking people. Who's the point of contact on your team right now?
As in who should get initiated on, ideally?
It can be in the form of initiation or initiating, depending on the situation in the game. So you guys are up by 4K, for instance.
Yeah, but so like, who would I ideally like to initiate the fight or be initiated on?
Exactly.
Yeah. I would say probably Pudge.
Okay.
Would be my my go-to. Pudge or Tree.
Totally. So with that in mind, anytime that you as a Necro walk into the fight after Pudge has started the fight, it's probably going to be good. Notice that that's what happened here. Pudge started a fight mid. You showed up too late. Fucked him up. So with that in mind, if I ask you who the point of contact is, this is different because you have killed people, so you're being greedy here. Like, this is good. Like, this is just strictly good. You're starting your farming pattern as far up as possible. But in this case, I would have already left. Like, I'd be leaving by now. I'd either be TPing top or walking, like, back this way. Like, now that they're alive, I'm no longer in front. Do you see what I mean?
I see what you mean, because I don't want to get gone on.
Yes. So it's like, the way I've tried to show people, and that I have to make a video of this, and I have some notes. I don't know if this replay is like the best example. Actually, I mean, it's a good example. I'm going to save it. It's another example. I don't have to use all the examples. It's one of those videos that I have to have a bunch of examples to make use of. But it's the most powerful question I've come up in the recent past. Who is the point of contact? Because even though you needed to clarify what I meant, you were absolutely correct when you asked me what I meant. 15
but I watched a coaching session of yours from like a week ago where there was a post-3 DK who you asked the same question.
Yeah,
so I remember that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a tough concept to apply, though. So for you, now I'm realizing, if we can keep your tendency to aggressively farm and then draw it back with who's the point of contact and why, like what form of contact is it? Like, are they initiating? Are they getting initiated on? So this fluctuates a lot, right? It's like once Axe and Earthshaker get their blink daggers, that can immediately flip, you know? And so I would argue that it's never your job in this game to be point of contact. What's ironic about that is most games on Earthshaker, most games on Necro, it is.
Yeah, that would be my instinct too, because you are quite tanky and you have Ethereal Shroud and everything.
Yes, but in this particular game, you need too many items. You need SNY, you need BKB. Like, it's too much. Like, you just never really want to be the guy that gets gone on here. And you also have another guy to get gone on. Even Anti-Mage is really annoying for you if you don't have BKB, right? Because he, like, bursts you down and blows you up and stuff.
I think he does end up killing me sometimes. But can I just go back to then my item build from where we're at currently? So regardless of whether I end up going SNY or Yules in this specific game, because I remember I did think that my next item should be a survivability item, and I was thinking on it, and that's why I ended up going SNY. But then, you know, from talking to you now, you said Disruptor's probably the biggest threat. I agree with that, given your reasoning for it. But what item would keep me safe from that? Would that be BKB, or would it be something like Lincoln's? What would you have gone?
I would go BKB here, yeah. So these are all great questions. I mean, your reasoning is good. So I'm going to come back to that. Like, I promise, I'm not just blowing off that question. What I'm just going to tell you is, for the rest of this game, I'm interpreting your actions based on your positioning and mindset with point of contact in mind. Okay? So, like, right now, we don't like this. Like, I was watching this and I was uncomfortable. And I've now explained through the whole process why this makes me uncomfortable right here. What I would want you to do is probably walk, like, since you got your TP canceled to top, I don't want you to TP away from your team now. The time where you considered TPing was good, but now it's not good, right? We don't want to, like, leave our team when we have Reapers and everything. So I would, like, walk back here and just do this. Like, that's what I would be doing. You know, I'd just be walking back here, farming, ready to TP back to my team.
Any questions about how I came to that conclusion?
No, I think I get it because this situation makes you uncomfortable because I would be the first point of contact here if we were to be
Yes.
gone on because I'm in front. I'm in front of Pudge and Tree specifically.
Yes.
So I think that makes perfect sense. And obviously they do have a lot of catch and a lot of initiation between Disruptor, Axe, and Earthshaker.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense to me.
Okay, cool. So you came into the session asking about feeling like you have unnecessary deaths in the mid game. I personally think you have a really good mind for identifying or for analyzing the game. If you fix this point of contact shit, you will skyrocket. I know specifically in your case. Like, I'm not trying to like fucking suck your dick or anything, but the point is that I think this will fix like 95% of your deaths. Now, the nuance to it, like, it's not like you're going to suddenly be 10k MMR, but now you're asking questions like, what item do I go? Right? So there's a lot more nuance. The first step to this is making sure the point of contact is correct. But then identifying the items that help you do that is going to be the next step, which is harder. So that's why I wanted to kind of like, there are two sides of the same coin here, and I just wanted to talk about the one that I think needs to be learned first. But then I am going to discuss the items with you. So for me, Necro is a large percentage of the time the type of hero that is the point of contact. Why? He's naturally tanky, has built-in survivability, and on top of that, oftentimes the heroes that want to be initiated onto are ones that show on creep waves. Because that's your just envision of the opponent team. So Necro is all of those things. Tanky, has survivability, and kid likes to show on creep waves. But just quite frankly, in some games, your hero's survivability mechanisms just don't work very well. Like, that's just kind of Dota counter picks in a nutshell. It's like, you know, if I'm fucking Huskar and they have Viper, my survivability spells don't work very well. So it's just like one of those things where right now I would consider you to be in a pretty rough Necro game. Like, I would consider Disruptor, Anti-Mage, Earthshaker, like even Lina to boot. Like, that's a lot of fucking magic damage and a lot of burst. And that's like what Necro hates, is magic damage and burst. So, with that in mind, we've kind of calculated like we don't want to be the point of contact, and you're already aware of this. So I actually don't think there's any point in this game where you want to be the point of contact, where you're showing Envision getting gone on. I don't think you ever want that in this entire game. I don't think there's any stage of the game where that gets better for you. At no stage will you not get stunned and mana burned and bursted by Anti-Mage, if given the chance to do so. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you position differently, it's possible, right?
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I'm quizzing you. There is an item that you will buy in 95% of games that fit this description. Do you know what it is? It's not Necro specific.
That fit what description? Sorry.
That you are a tanky guy that cannot afford to get initiated onto.
Just trying to think of my hero pool and what item that could be.
So what do tanky guys generally want in a fight? What do they want to be doing? Where do they want to be?
In the front.
Okay. So other words, they want to be in the fray.
But they don't want to get gone on. I would say Blink.
Boom! Nailed it. Yeah. Tanky guy that doesn't want to get initiated on. Blink. So, I already know pregame I'm buying a Blink in this game. So, if I know I'm buying a Blink, I need to ask myself, what prevents me from blinking in and dying? I need to have something I press when I blink that I don't die.
BKB.
Boom. But it's like every game is going to be a bit different. Could be Yule's, could be Lotus, could be Lincoln's, could be... I mean, Lincoln's is less likely, but it could be. Shiva's, you know? There's options. But yeah, so coming to the conclusion that you need to buy a Blink, I think you could apply this in all your future games. I'm a tanky guy, and I can't afford to be point of contact.
Because so that's the reasoning behind you knowing like even in the beginning of the game that you're gonna get a blink
Yes.
is from the point of contact reasoning.
Yes.
Mm.
And it's a matter of you're going to get this answer wrong sometimes because I've played 35,000 hours of Dota or something. So it's okay if you're wrong. But a lot of times if you're getting caught in fights and you feel like there's nothing you could have done, it's probably this. And it's just positioning and it's who gets initiated onto. And so what we can then do is assess all of your positioning through this lens, right? And then we can assess all of your items through what you told me you were supposed to do. Like, you know, oh, I wanted Pudge to be point of contact. Did that make sense the way I itemized? Did that make sense the way I played the map? Did that make sense my positioning in fights? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's something I need to get better at consciously thinking about, because I first thought of that line of thinking watching your other coaching session with the post 3 player. And this game I played yesterday, but I don't remember ever consciously thinking about the point of contact in this game specifically. Oh, I went shard, I see.
Yeah. So, I'll be honest with you. I think this point of contact thing might be my best invention since Deadlight. Meaning, like, I have never found myself having to describe something more often than this. Like, using a single concept to answer so many people's questions. And for me, what's been so amazing about it for me is that it's helping me play way better, like in my games. Because I have like crystallized something I've kind of known for a while, but I wasn't consistently applying. Right? So, ironically, I mean, what's beautiful about it for me, and this is just kind of like me reveling in because it just feels good, is that if I find myself having to crystallize it for myself, what are the odds that other people understand it? Pretty low. Like the general Dota audience. I'm sure that pro players have some version of this already. They already probably have a name for this, you know? So it's not like I invented it, but I guess I'm publicizing it because I never learned this from anyone else. But so my point is that if I find myself having to explain it to so many of you guys, that means nobody knows it. And if I wasn't explaining it before, that means I wasn't aware enough to tell you about it. So yeah, it's fascinating. I think for you, it's going to solve 100% or 100% over exaggerating. I think it's going to solve 90% of your deaths. And the times you die, it may not stop you from dying, but you'll understand much better why you died. Like you die, who was point of contact, and did I want it to be me? Asking that question. So here, let's watch this. So Yule's, this is so funny to me because I can see the reasoning for Yule's. And I'm not even saying I wouldn't have gone it in past games. It's so obvious to me this game, I would 100% nowadays go BKB Blink Shivas. That's what I would go. But if I don't have the point of contact reference, I would not do that. Like myself, I would not do that. I've had a tendency to always try to stay alive with utility items that are like not BKB. This is really interesting to me. I'm learning a lot, teaching you guys or whatever. So, okay. So in this,
I think it's also because I play a lot of Axe too myself, and I know how annoying it is as an Axe player to face someone with Yules before you have BKB.
Absolutely.
At least in my eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's really interesting about this game is that I think you have a lot of times where you can back up on the map by walking, and you're trying to TP away and getting them canceled. And the reason you're getting canceled is because you're effectively the point of contact in the positioning you're in. Before you TP, you should not be point of contact anymore. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not a coincidence you keep randomly getting your TPs canceled. So in this case, I think it's like good instinct of you to TP bottom to fix that wave. So like after you get canceled and you see this, I'd be walking bottom right now to fix this. If you were fine to be point of contact, you'd cut the wave right here instead of doing this. You'd probably cut the wave right here and TP here. If you were fine to be point of contact. Does that make sense?
Does make sense.
Okay.
I think I do end up cutting the wave. I can't remember. I remember doing it at some point in the game.
Yeah, you don't do it here.
I don't.
What's really interesting, I'm now seeing it, because if you want to be point of contact, you'd want to be here and you'd want to be here. By yourself, right? But if you don't want to be point of contact, you need to fix this. You need to fix this wave. So do you go back to the tower or do you cut the wave? Oh my gosh. I am learning so much. Thanks for the teaching session here. 21 minutes.
Feel free to pay me.
No comment. Cut wave or TP back to fix wave.
Can I ask you though about this specific scenario where the map is right now? Because I think what you're saying is, since I'm not supposed to be the point of contact, I should be walking towards my bot tier 1 basically to fix the wave. Since my or should I be TPing there?
This goes back to what we said earlier. You have bots, walk away from your team.
Yeah. But then I would say, obviously, we see Lina now at the bot tier 1 tower. No one else is showing on the map. They have some degree of catch. Isn't it dangerous too for me to be walking through the jungle? We have some vision, but we don't have vision closer towards where the Lina is. If I just was to walk there by myself, couldn't I just get absolutely obliterated?
I mean, it is a question to how do I connect to the lane I'm trying to go to? I would say this situation is caused by this getting your TP canceled here. So when that kind of stuff happens, which happens, you either have to no longer fix the wave or take a safer path to fix the wave. Either way, I need you to walk the fuck away from your team. Do you know what I mean? Sense. Either way.
Yeah.
I think your concern is completely reasonable. So I don't want to shut that down. In this particular case, the ideal use of your time would be to walk towards bottom. Now, I'm going to trust your gut if you don't think that's safe to do based on the information you do and don't have. So, at the very least, you would walk like this and like towards top lane because it's pushing out, you know? Like it'll be here in like a minute. So like at the very least, we're doing this. And I'm just thinking, if you have BKB, it's much harder to kill you when you're by yourself. They need like 4 heroes. And if you have BKB Blink, you're like so strong at connecting to fights, you know? So that's it. Like the Yules doesn't actually assist you in any of these jobs. So I like that you, like, I like your instinct to TP top, but this is a point of contact issue. Again, like if you're a point of contact, fantastic TP. Good instinct there. 90% of games, Necro's happy to do that. You're going to TP top, or sorry, bottom.
I didn't quite know how that engagement with Pudge was going to go. I just saw him and another icon on map, so I decided to TP to sort of connect to him.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine. Okay. No point of contact. I would have wanted you to farm the 2 camps behind you there instead.
Instead of farming the wave, or instead of going to rush? Instead of farming the wave, right?
Yeah. I'd want you to TP top. Fantastic. I'd want you to farm backwards here. No. This is point of contact stuff here. Oh, no.
I think I do end up dying here, yeah.
Yep. See? Easy. That's a really bad death. Just like, I'm not trying to flame you. I'm saying like...
No, I agree. That's what I do.
Yeah. It's very costly. Like, that's when stuff can snowball out of control sometimes. Like, turns into 2 people dying. And the thing is, you are such a strong cleanup crew. You are so strong at that. So if you're dead, your teammates on the map are less survivable as well. So yeah, it makes like yeah, The counter initiator / fight turner is actually just as important as the point of contact guy. It makes the point of contact guy have to play like a pussy, which a lot of people won't adjust. This is really bad. That's point of contact. This is also TPing away from your team. Yeah, and then your team fights without you, it looks like. You got back. Oh, you do. Yeah. This is TPing away from your team. That's the cardinal sin that you should not do. Okay.
I think I was trying to keep my tier 1 top alive, but maybe that doesn't matter that much at 27 minutes into the game.
The longer the game goes, there's no like strict cutoff period. The more important it is to be able to be S5. So moves that remove you from being able to be S5 are incredibly specific as the game goes on. And it is our job as a Dota player to not be that guy that makes our team not 5. And if you are not that guy and you understand how important it is that that doesn't happen, when you have a Necrophos do this on your team, you would back the fuck up bottom. Both of these, like I learned this lesson a while back that car accidents usually require 2 people to be not paying attention. One person like fucks up big and the other person's not paying attention enough to dodge it. It's like, there have been, how many times in our lives have we had like near miss car crashes where like somebody drove in front of us and we had to slam on the brakes? And it's like, of course there are some times where it's just purely one guy's fault, but like a lot of car crashes are because somebody fucks up and the other one's not aware enough or ready enough to react to it. So I just say that like, this is the same thing. You're the guy causing the car crash and Luna's the guy not reacting. Do you see what I mean?
I see what you mean. I think I did communicate to my team that I'm going top.
I understand.
And I'm gonna show on the wave. But I understand your reasoning too. Like I should make sure that I'm able to be with my team if nothing else. So if anything, I should be walking top and having my bots ready to connect.
I just want you to dial that priority up. I want you to know that generally speaking, the later on in the game you go, it's good that you communicated, but that also doesn't like, it's great that we communicated, but it also doesn't like vindicate us from making a bad decision, right? And I'm not saying like you're trying to do that, but it's like, it's good that you did that. That's a great habit to get into. But that also, there are times where we're just not supposed to do it. So the idea that the longer the game goes, the less likely you are to TP away from your team is just a good mantra to go by. It's not, there's no nevers. You know what I mean? There's no nevers and there's no always, but there are general guidelines of, yes, it is 27 minutes into the game. The likelihood you TP away from your team is very low. What I would like you to think is that the majority of the game, even early on, it's not, the exception is to TP away from your team. So examples, getting kills, examples, not having cooldowns, examples, the opponent's playmaking potential guy is showing somewhere, so you don't think the opponent has a play. You know, like, you have to kind of know nothing's going to happen. And so I kind of gave you like 3 potential reasons nothing's going to happen. They're dead, their playmaker's showing, or you can't really do anything in there anyways because you don't have cooldowns or whatever. So those are examples. Any questions on that?
No, makes sense.
Sweet. So yeah, I see what you're trying to do. We want to get you walking away. If you walked away from your team, maybe 5 more times this game, we'd be much better off. Unfortunately, we didn't get him there. Huh. It's funny. Classic, not committing enough heroes to kill Necro. Like, I can see the reasoning behind your items. If you played off map with Blink Shivas and just every time Pudge got gone on, you were there, I think I think you can see how I'm envisioning this game. Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting to me. I feel like I'm learning in real time about point of contact shit because I'm like, now what does Pudge do? He's like the initiator that now needs to sit in the back because Necro's in front. Kind of weird. Kind of makes his job confusing too.
Mm.
This is you. I like your items considering what you think your job in this game is. To be honest. So I'll give you that.
As in, if my job is to be the point of contact guy.
Yes, exactly. Like I can see what you're going for. There's usually several different ways that you can accomplish things, but like I see what you're going for. It's not like way off base or anything.
Can I ask you about this Shiva's purchase that I'm going
Yeah.
for now?
Sure.
Because I remember I was pinging it, and then Pudge pinged that he had already got a Shiva's. And I ended up getting it anyway because I thought, we might not always be together. It's still a nice item for me, still nice to get some armor, still nice if one of us dies to still have the aura, still have everything. But like, just in general, can it be motivated to get 2 Shivas on one team?
Yeah, Shiva's is much more about the active than it is about the aura. So it's one of the few aura items that you can buy 2 of. Do you know why you both have a Shiva's?
Why we
Generally
both do?
speaking? Yeah.
As in what the motivation is for getting Shivas in the first place?
Nah, it's interesting. I'm just curious, like, why do you think it resulted in both of you having Shivas?
I'd already bought the Veil when he pinged that he had Shivas. And I hadn't been checking his items. I think, I tried to check both my teammates and my enemies' items. I know that's a good thing to do, but it's still something I'm improving at. So I didn't keep a close eye on exactly what he was going. So I had already like sunk half of the cost into the Shivas at that point. And it is a nice item on Necro, so I just ended up committing to it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying logistically in the game. I'm trying to draw attention to something, and I like hearing your thoughts about where your brain goes, so it helps me understand you better. Your heroes fill very similar roles in the game. So, simply put, you're likely going to buy similar items. Like, that's what I was trying to draw attention to. That's why you ended up with 2 Shivas. Because both of your heroes don't mind being counter initiators, and they both don't mind being points of contact. So, it just means that you're more likely to run into that problem. And I'm trying to draw attention to that if you start categorizing heroes with point of contact, you'll know which teammate to be more attentive to of overlapping items. That's what I was trying to draw attention to. Does that make sense?
I get that. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But just in general then, because we talked about having 2 Shivas in general, right? And I remember earlier you said that you would go
Blink Shivas.
BKB Blink Shivas.
Yeah.
Would you not go Shivas if you saw that Pudge was getting it?
I mean, the problem with Necro is when you're blinking, like, what else do you do? Like, other than buy a Shivas? Like, I'm just looking at what item makes you impactful when you blink in?
Yeah, good question. Guess hard ags or something just for damage?
Maybe, yeah. Like, for me, Shiva's are the only clear item. I mean, another route that could be fun would be, like, Dagon Conda or something. That could be kind of fun. Or, like, Conda Sheep or something. With the idea to burst Anti-Mage. It's not that it's good, I'm just thinking out loud. But, like, for me, it's the clear item that you would go in order to play your hero. And that's why it's more like... Shiva's is just a really strong item in general, and it's not an item that gets wasted to have 2 of them. It's one of the least costly double aura items. Like, AC, for instance, the second one just literally doesn't do anything. But with Shiva's, you have the active, you're not always right next to each other, so... yeah. AC is meant to be where you're all next to each other and you're buffing people. So Shiva's is not like that. Shiva's is a lot about people who are like blinking in and causing havoc and stuff like this. So oftentimes Shiva's is naturally an item that you're not exactly near your team when you're using it. So yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
I just realized I never got a blink this game at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess for me, like the main thing was it's not about not building a sheet. Like if you need it, if you understand your job in the game and he buys a Shivas too, fine, it's whatever. You know? As long as you are clearly understanding your job, playing into the job you thought you had, I think this is a good build. But the unnecessary deaths you had in the mid game were due to you thinking this is your job, and it's really hard for your hero to do this job in the game that you're currently playing. So all the times where you were putting yourself in point of contact, that's when you were getting your TP canceled places, so you weren't fixing lanes well enough. And then it was also when you got killed unnecessarily up here. I think this death was like the most understandable. Like this was a very nuanced one, the one that you were pushing
in the early game. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that one was very nuanced. I think that one's a tough one to avoid because I mean you're gonna have those deaths if you're trying to get better at the game. That's my summary of this game. We have like 15 minutes left. I'm happy to go through another game.
Let's. I mean, I don't have like a clear selection then because I
Yeah, I
had
know
a
you had
game in
another one,
mind.
yeah.
I wanted to. That one was a loss where I thought, I thought I could have won it, but I ended up losing it. I don't have any other games like that because it is Christmas time, so I haven't been playing that
that's
much in
fine.
the last week. But I would love your thoughts on this one as well.
Sure.
Because I do end up dying 5 times. This is not a game we won, but I do end up dying 5 times, and I feel like I shouldn't have.
What hero are you in this one?
Elsie.
Okay. Very interesting point of contact hero discussion here.
I figured it might be.
Okay. In team fights in this game, who's the point of contact?
On my team?
Yeah.
DP, I would say.
Nice. I was actually really hoping you wouldn't say yourself, so that's you passed. They don't really have reliable ways to burst DP until like super late game with Anti-Mage. So I'd be fine if he gets initiated onto, and it's also like really scary to go in team fights because they have Silencer Undying. Like really strong counter initiation. And Viper is not really an appeasing target. But like on the map, you can be point of contact with Puck and Anti-Mage in the game. So it's like a key distinction of different states of the game can infer different or imply different points of contact. Okay, you fly yourself a mango.
Yeah, I think just because I'm facing anti-mage,
Yeah, no,
I want to be
it's a
able to
strong
always.
adjustment. Yeah, good. Silencer's annoying as fuck. Okay. Yeah, I can see your laning's pretty good. You clearly adjust very well to situations. Like your item build on and Necro showed me that. Like it was a creative item build, so. Just zooming. Okay. I don't see you checking other lanes very often. I will say that much. Like it's a telltale sign if you're okay. You do look now. That's good.
I think on Elsie in particular, I find it quite hard to rotate before I have duel. Although I do have duel now, but like throughout the laning phase earlier.
Yeah. It's more like, is my
Or would
PA
you
going
say
to
it
be
more
under
for
a lot of
info?
pressure? Yes. Rather than looking to rotate. Because if you see your PA's absolutely dumpstered and she's like jungling over here, you'll be less aggressive up here. That's what I mean. Because it's very much easier for them to bring like 4 heroes to your lane and not care. So a lot of times it's like you'll probably have a good sense of like, I should stay top, like good matchup against Anti-Mage. I can't really duel Viper or Puck right now before Blink. And so, but then you want to know what's going to happen in your lane. So you can look around the map to have a better idea of who's going to show up here. Can be very useful. Okay. Nice. Okay. Pretty chaotic game.
On their team, who would you say the point of contact is? Is it Undying or Viper, ideally?
It's Viper or Puck, I'd say. I think unless it's Viper support. Nah, it's Viper or Puck, yeah. Puck to initiate, Viper to counter initiate. Or to get initiated onto. Okay. Anti-mage thinks he's the point of contact. Okay. Okay. That worked out better than I anticipated. Okay, so we've got Blink. You're gonna smoke.
Yeah, I tend to do that when I get, like, for a blink reveal in general, whether I'm playing like Axe or LC or Earthshaker or Darkseer. I don't know if it's always a good thing, but I just figured, makes it easier sort of to get that initial pick off.
Okay, with this Blink, are you trying to team fight them or pick them off?
I'm trying to pick them off,
Okay.
I would say.
What are you doing right now? Is this team fighting or picking off?
This is team fighting. I think the reason I go mid here is that just in general, I would expect an enemy hero to show up to mid to a larger degree. But at the same time, I feel like it's probably safer and easier to get pickoff specifically on the side lanes, just
Yeah.
because of that fact. That there tends to be more heroes mid, and it's easier to rotate from side lanes to mid in general.
Yeah, and who's your target on their team if you could choose?
If I could choose, probably AM or Puck.
Yeah, AM for sure, because he can't dodge your shit. Puck, you might miss. It's like good if you get Puck, but honestly, it's tough if he has any reaction time. So, I asked the question: are you going for a pickoff or team fighting? Who's your target? Where's that hero likely to be? And then I asked,
He's
why
top.
are you here? Right?
Mm.
Like anti-mage is not going to defend mid tower. So
Makes sense.
it just depends on who your target is. That's
Would
how
you
I
say
look.
though in this game, because AM's had a rough game up until this point. I don't know if he has Battle Fury yet. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But he died a bunch, right? And he didn't have a good time in lane. So would you say that puts a higher priority of trying to catch like Puck or Viper, for instance, if I'm with my team? Because Viper's had a good game so far, I
For
think.
me on Legion, I'm gonna feed on whoever's giving me kills.
Mm.
Like I don't fucking care. If you're a different hero, it's different, honestly.
Mm.
But like the biggest part about Anti-Mage is that 95% of heroes in Dota can't solo kill him. So it's not worth chasing him around anymore when he doesn't have Battle Fury. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you can just solo kill him and it benefits your hero immensely to solo kill people. So, and on Legion specifically, I like if I'm Earthshaker with Echo, I might just go fuck that guy up. You know?
Mm.
But you're super broken here because you're not a hero that can be combo broken by Silencer. Like Earthshaker would have trouble solo killing Anti-Mage in this game because mini you blink Echo, if the Silencer's ready, you're not going to kill that guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I understand your reasoning of Anti-Mage is in the dirt enough, let him go. But I also think if he's in the dirt and you're the only one having to do it, then fantastic. And I just asked the question again, are you trying to team fight or are you trying to pick people off? And you're in a position that says you're team fighting with your mid who has no ult.
Mm.
So for me, like I look at, you guys are hitting a tower, like pushing a tower, pressuring a tower with a Boots of Travel mid laner that has no ult.
Mm.
So that's how I look at this situation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
We want the general position. You have a good awareness that side lanes mean pick off and mid lane means team fight. And the thing about this is great. You killed a Viper with 4 heroes, but now you don't have your spells, so they might be able to capitalize, which they do. And I want you to think that like that the net of this was a kill for kill with nothing else. No towers, no anything. Actually led to your AA being dead. It's really hard to quantify the ripple effect of plays. But I can just tell you that more often than not, if you're forcing team fights when you don't want to, what do you do after team fights? You split up. And so if you force team fights when you don't want to, that means you're going to split up when you don't want to. Like, you guys are now split up with DP having ulti. And it's like, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of look at this. It's just something to think about, that there tends to be... What ends up happening most of the time is when you team fight when you're not supposed to, you split up when you're not supposed to, or vice versa, then you, like, some inefficiency has to happen to correct the shit. Like, you have to correct it, and it feels awkward. Like, it feels forced, but you actually just, like, have to do it. Fuck it, let's 5-man smoke if we're split up too much, you know? Fuck it, let's just team fight them when we don't want to. Like, because we have our ults, and we already, like, let's just linger mid with 4 heroes. I guess we should. Like, it's not good, but it's better than grouping up when you're not supposed to, then team fighting when you're not supposed to, then grouping up when you're not supposed to. Like, it really does ping pong back and forth, and it's like a metronome that naturally happens in the game of Dota 2. And if you're misaligned or miscalculated there, or if you're not on beat, if you're not on rhythm, then it's just going to keep missing. And it can be really hard to... So you kind of got to, like, stop the metronome and reset it. That's the analogy I would use for that one.
Can I ask you something really quickly about what we just watched?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Like, in the... If you rewind, like, a minute or so. Oh, like, right here, too, actually. But, yeah. Like, yeah, here. What do you think about me farming this wave in particular? Like, everyone is up. I was farming the camp, so it made sense, like, to me, efficiency-wise, to shove that wave in. But I can also see how it would be risky from a point of contact perspective. I think I just wanted to create pressure on top so that someone would react, so I could duel them. But how big would you say the risk of me is just getting caught there and feeding?
Against their lineup, I think the risk of you getting caught and feeding is 0. Because they have no puck ulti and no Viper ulti. What matters much more to me is what it means to the opponent that you showed there.
That makes sense.
What does it mean to them?
It means that I'm not anywhere else. That they know where I am, and they're free to take more risky farm on the map. They're free to fight my team without the risk of me being there.
Did
They're
you
free
watch
to farm bot wave, for instance.
Yeah, did you watch the Jenkins coaching session?
No, I didn't. I watched some of it, I think, but
Yeah,
not the full
it was
thing.
towards the very beginning where I talked to him about, like, one of the worst things you can do on Slark is, like, fight here. He's a vision-based hero. He knows when the opponent sees him or not. So the worst thing you can do is fight here, get a kill, linger, and then fight here again. Like, because that doesn't capitalize on what Slark does. So what's the worst thing you can do showing on a hero that has kill threat? Stay in that area. So you would either TP mid to your team, TP bottom here, or go through portal. And that would be you acknowledging the impact of you showing on this wave here. I think it's absolutely correct you show on the wave, because somebody needs to push that. But you need to give credit where credit's due. Your hero's a huge off-map threat, and you give them so much information by showing. And it's not that you should never show, you just need to understand what that means when you do. You know what I mean?
I need to rotate after I show, basically.
Yeah, so like go straight through the gate right here and camp this bottom lane with a TP ready to happen here. You're going to pick off the anti-mage if he goes by himself. You're ready to save the DP if she gets caught. You know, so that solves both point of contact issues. You look to initiate down here, and you look to save the guy who you don't mind getting initiated onto. That would be really good map rotation. So I'm learning a lot for myself here in the sense that, like, you not having a TP probably makes showing on this lane really bad, actually. I probably wouldn't show with no TP. Now that I think about it, I would just stay off map. The pressure you're creating on this tower matters less than you telling the enemy team you're there. So you could just be farming ancients, getting the same amount of gold. So yeah, the only time you can do this without caring about that nature is you don't have ult. Like that makes sense, right? You don't have your kill threat, so go show on some lanes if you have to. But yeah, it's the same as I had in Ursa that was consistently hitting buildings, and I'm like, dude, stay off map. You're so strong. You're so scary. Like, if I see Ursa showing, I feel much better to go kill his teammates. But if Ursa's missing and I'm like some melee guy and I go on his teammates and he's behind him, I'd fucking die instantly. Same with Legion, right? Feels really bad to go on her teammates when she's missing. And people will still do it, though. That's the beauty of it. They'll still fucking do it. So that's how we capitalize on it.
Can I ask you to? I know we're wrapping up, but I want to hear your thoughts on my item build this game, because I go BKB initially after Blade Mail Blink, which I feel like is sort of standard on Legion. Sometimes I go Ags, but most of the time I go BKB. But after that, this game, I think I go Lincoln, if I'm not mistaken, for Viper ult and AM ult specifically. Obviously, Silencer could trigger it as well. But like, how would you itemize Legion this game?
I would probably go Ags over BKB. Because they don't really have stuns. So like after I finish the duel, I'll probably be fine. The BKB would only really help me be able to BKB save the Death Prophet. That's like what I think it offers to you. Through the global and everything.
As in, we get global, I BKB, and I press
save
the
the
attack
Death Prophet, and then ult somebody. Yeah, that's what I think BKB offers you here over Ags. Because you're point of contact, but you don't need to be the guy getting initiated onto. So with that in mind, when they have a bunch of mobile shits on their team, and you need to see them before they see you, what item do you go?
But I need to see them before they see me.
Yeah, and they're a bunch of mobile shits, so they can jump you too. Like, they have anti-mage puck. What item lets you see them, but they don't see you?
Oh, Shadowblade.
Hey! Yeah. So I would probably go, like, Ags, like Blade Mail, Blink, Ags, and then probably Shadowblade, to be honest. Or I'd probably go, like, Shadowblade, Satanic, because Satanic would help me at all stages of the game, but it also helps me save my Death Prophet. And then my last item would probably be a Lincoln's Breaker.
Like Nullifier or something.
Yeah, whatever makes most sense at that time. You can consider Wind Waker 5th or 6th item as well, because it breaks Lincoln's and it gets you out of puck coil. So, yeah, any Lincoln's Breaker that makes sense once you get to that stage in the game.
Makes sense.
Because puck and anti-mage should inevitably buy one, yeah. So, I would actually go, I said Blade Mail, Blink, Ags, Shadowblade. The item after Shadowblade would probably be the Lincoln's Breaker if I saw that this guy went straight Lincoln's. I wouldn't go Satanic first. I would say with their heroes, it's more my job to kill Anti-Mage than it is to save Death Prophet. That's what I would say.
I feel like against Anti-Mage specifically, though, it can be quite tricky when it gets Lincoln, because he does have some time to react, even if I were to apply my Lincoln's Blink in, apply Lincoln's Breaker, and then hit Duel. That still gives him like a split second to react, no? To blink out.
Do you have Quick Cast or no?
Not on LC, I don't. I dabble it. On some heroes I use it. On Mars, for instance, I use it to make Spear Arena combo a little bit easier. But on LC, I don't.
Yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is if you use Quick Cast on one or two of your item slots plus Duel, there's no way in fuck he reacts with Blink, because Blink has a cast animation. So, like, if I'm seeing this, like, in theory, you know, you would want to go into a private lobby and practice. Oops, he has a link. He doesn't have a link. You'd want to practice this, right? Like he's not reacting to that, right? So like it's not even that he's not reacting to that. Like his hero can't blink that fast, so it's not even like a reaction time. It's just like yeah. So
Yeah, that is fast.
This is the kind of stuff where quick cast can be the tiebreaker. I generally give quick cast as a pretty high recommendation for people. In
general, or some item slots?
I purposely have these 2 slots on quick cast. That's my
in general
philosophy.
throughout all heroes.
Yeah. Like so, I just used to using these items on quick cast, like whatever they are and whatever hero I'm playing. You know, for me, Alt W is faster than double clicking W. So like, because you can click both at the same time. So like, it adds up so much. Like, I did fucking trying to talk to you while doing it, but like, in the past it'd be more important to W yourself ahead of time. But the point is, it's like there's just a lot you can get the habit of. I literally practiced combos on Primal Beast for like a really long time. So if you're practicing this, you can't afford to fuck it up in a game. Like, you just can't, because you go for the Lincoln's duel and you fuck it up, it's like, GG. So this is the type of stuff that is great to just, you know, you can even practice if you have to buy BKB in the game. So you, like, are buying yourself a BKB. I'm just going to give this guy, like, a bunch of hearts or something so he stops dying. You know, I buy BKB. It's like, well, oh, free spells means I can't. That means he has no cooldown on his Lincolns. Oops. Really hard without hearing anything. So it's like a little bit of practice here and there. Like, I need to practice this. I haven't played Legion much recently. But, you know, and then you can add on top of it Blade Mail. It's like, you know, you can practice this shit by yourself. It can go really fast. It's hard, though. Like, if you don't practice it. For me, with Primal, I had to do it a bunch of times to do this, you know?
Yeah, I've been looking to get into Primal, but I find him quite challenging.
He is. Yeah, I mean, he's a weird hero, is how I would... Oops. This is a moment where I'm actually costing myself because my blink's not on quick cast. If I need to, like... Yeah, that would be so much better. I've considered for so long if I should have blink on quick cast, and it fucked me up for so long for a while that I just stopped doing it. But yeah, I'd be a way better initiator if I have blink on quick cast. Fuck.
Do we have time for one?
Go ahead.
Do we have time for like one more general question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to ask you about my like core ranked hero pool.
Sure.
And if you think there are any sort of holes in that I should fill, and if so, what hero would be good? So when I play ranked, I would say my most played heroes, if I have ranged 4, which is most of the time, are probably Earthshaker, Abaddon, and Axe. In general, if I have a melee 4, I tend to go either like, well, it depends on what the matchup is. Sometimes I go one of those either way, but I would also then consider like Necro or Viper. I'll go Necro if I have a range 4 too, sometimes depending on the matchup. But like given those sort of 5-ish heroes, Earthshaker, Axe, Abaddon, Viper, Necro, would you say is that roundup sort of well-rounded, or do you think there's a void that I would need to fill? And if so, like which situations would those heroes not be good?
I'd give you the number one situation where none of your heroes are commit and disengage heroes. They're not like go in, go out kind of heroes. They're either in or they're out. So I think that's actually why you struggle with Primal, which makes sense. The hero like goes in, creates chaos, resets the fight, goes again. So that's the type of hero I see that you're missing. Primal Beast, Slardar, Spirit Breaker, kind of Night Stalker, Tiny. Those would be the heroes. I think you would learn some good reset mechanics of fights and understanding when to like retreat and go back in. And that is what your lineup's missing. I don't think any of the heroes you mentioned do that.
I do play a little bit of Slardar. Do you think that he's a decent choice for that?
Yeah, Slardar's like super broken right now, so yeah, he's a good choice. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
No problem, dude. Thanks for signing up, or I guess thanks to your girlfriend.
Shout out Layla.
Yep. Shout out to
World's best
Layla.
girlfriend.
World's best. Second best. I have a better. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, man. Thanks for signing up or whatever. Thanks for joining me. It was a pleasure. I enjoyed this very much. Have a good night, man.
Thank you too. Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah.
Take care.
Okay. Okay.